I've been here. It's the Black Country Blokes, chewing the flat about everything it is mental health, disability, life in general. Here, me, Kev Dillon, and my partner in crime, as always, Lee Cadman, and I'm joined by a very good friend of mine, Paul Gough, from the great club, Priory Park. So before we get into Paul's story and everything, all the wonderful he's done for decades now, we're going to start with our gratitude list, as always. Now, I'm grateful for, I'm still on this health journey, not eating bad food, not drinking, not smoking. And now I'm 8 weeks in, I'm really feeling the difference. I'm over that first hurdle and I'm seeing a difference. My weight's coming off, but the inches are coming off my belly and overall just feeling good. So I'm grateful for perseverance and, that self-awareness of not being a spring chicken, not treating myself like I'm in my 20s and doing it every day. As I say, discipline beats motivation, because some days we haven't got the motivation, but discipline makes us do it even when we don't want to. So I'm grateful. What are you grateful for, brother?
Well, I've probably said it before, but I'm grateful for the good weather, because it enabled me to go out on my motorbike one day last week.
Lovely.
So yeah, it was great just to get out on that and forget about life for a bit and just enjoy the road.
And Paul, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for a lot of things. To be fair, I'm grateful because I'm lucky that I've got good people around me. I've got friends which I've known for years and years and years. I've got a wonderful family, lovely wife, 2 daughters, which I'm flourishing, and being around people that want help, but are appreciative of the help that you give people. So that's what I like.
And it is great. I mean, like we were saying off air, but like some of the characters you meet in amateur boxing gyms. Yeah.
And them characters you probably would never come across in another sport. If I'm honest, I was in martial arts before I come into boxing, and it was the same camaraderie and togetherness as boxing brings you. It's a different setup, and I think it's I'm going to say it's the best sport in the world because I've done it for so long. But I believe it helps more people to get on in life and achieve things in life, even if they're a small little thing compared to what some people achieve. I think boxing can give you so much enjoyment at any level that you're gonna do it for, even if it's just going into a gym and doing some boxing training.
Well, we open up the 3-day class, isn't it? And it's lovely, as you say, a black kid, a white kid, an Asian kid, a traveller. And once you take away the nonsense, they're just human beings. And then because they become brothers, they can pick each other's brains about what Ramadan is, or what this means, or what that means. And before you know it, the ignorance is eradicated because you can ask your mate questions.
Yeah.
And before you know it, there's no difference. We're just human beings who have found a joint sport that we can both enjoy.
Yeah. Well, that's the love of boxing, is in a boxing gym, you're all a person, not race, religion, your colour of skin makes no difference. Everyone is the same, and if only life was like that, we wouldn't have all this rubbish, would we? With these wars and these crimes, and you won't have that. I mean, how many places where somebody can go into where they can feel completely safe because no one had hurt them in that gym, and that's boxing gyms. You can have violence and stuff outside a gym. Come into the gym, that won't be there. Now, if only that was in general life, now how much would society be better?
When you can have someone and go over to Jeff, he's going to show you to do boxing. Go over to Darren, he's going to show you to put your wraps on. And you've got real people there sharing their experience.
Yeah, 100%.
And, you know, in good clubs, the bullies don't last.
Yeah.
Because, there's always someone better than you in there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And that's a good
100%.
leveler.
Yeah.
You know, you might be the baddest man on the street, but you get in there and you go, flipping heck, he's just not the snot out of me.
Yeah.
And that's not a current thing that people come into box gyms to get beat up. But it's a good sober upper, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. I can remember, I'm going back a bit now. We was in championships over the Triumph Club.
Yeah.
And we all weighed in, as we all did. And then we went to Sainsbury's Cafe. And so we just waited. We was waiting in the line, and we just come through. I took the order, and then we found a table. And there was this old guy and his wife, and they said, "Excuse me," I said, "Who are all these? Who are all you lot?" And I went, "Oh," and I explained that. He said, "We're all boxing clubs from all over the Midlands, and we're competing in a competition which is just up the road." And I said, "Well, all these are boxers." And I says, "Yeah, and coaches." I says, "Their coaches give up their time to take them all over the country and box them." And I was like, "Oh." And I said, "These are so polite." I mean, what did you expect? And I said, "Well, it's violent, isn't it, boxing?" I went, "No," I said, "it's a sport. Okay, you're based on hitting people and not getting hit, but it's a sport." I said, "What did you think I was going to be like?" I was like, people that you can't talk to or have anything to do with. I was like, it's nothing like that. And I said, "Well, I know now." So how many people out there just think it's just a thug sport?
It's one of them. They don't really, on the professional sides, they don't really do each other any favours on that, though, do they? Because what ordinary people see in a press conferences where tables are getting flipped and it doesn't do it boxing favours at the lower level, does it? Because
No.
people do think it's thuggish, and well, it is. That behaviour is. There's no. They're trying to sell a fight. I understand it, but it's still thuggish behaviour that people see.
That's trying to bring in the non-boxing people into it. Because as a boxer and a boxing coach, watching a big fight and watching the build up to a big fight, all boxers would rather they go up to each other, shake each other's hand, and be respectful to each other. But that ain't gonna sell
tickets.
The tickets.
Yeah. It's really rare that there's a genuine hatred, isn't there? It's usually put on.
Yeah. It 99 times out of 100 is put on. They can't tell me that they really hate each other.
I'd love to get more amateur boxing on TV, because it's the grassroots to save lives, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, any rough area in the country, probably in the world, where coppers won't go, you'll find a boxing gym.
Yeah.
Because that coach is the dad, is the best friend, he's the local vicar, he's everything that child or that adult needs at that time.
Yeah, 100%.
He's the only love some of them have ever had.
Yeah.
And you'd think in this time of crisis, the government would throw money at amateur clubs, but how hard it is to keep a club running and then to put a boxing show. People don't realise, say, we're fighting the Priory, that's £20 expenses, but then you've got him coming from York, that could be £100 expenses per bout. Then it's the doctor, the ring, the officials, the trophies, the sandwiches, and you know, it's so dear to put it on. And how many shows we've put on at a loss, or you've broke even?
Yeah.
That's what people don't see, isn't it? The sleepless nights of matching. And they go, "Oh, well, have you got a Kev on?" You go, "But Kev's this weight, this age, this experience."
Yeah.
We have to try and get the perfect age, the perfect weight, the perfect experience, because we could throw Kev, who's had 5 lost fives, in with Paul, who's had 50, 150, but Kev's going to get hurt. So we're going to avoid that fight and try and get him around that. But the parents don't see it. And then what drives you mad is when the parents will only come to support their lad. instead of supporting the greater team of the club, because without that money, that's a lot of our income, or helping us get out there and get a bit of money in.
Yeah, there's not many clubs where you will get parents just coming to support the club. There's not. We've got an handful. Who do because they do support the club. But on the whole, that's few and far between. Which is a shame. But they'll probably go and spend money on going and watching some crap somewhere. It defeats the object for me. If you're a part of a club, you're a part of a club. Support your club. We try and get the ones that coming or they've sold tickets. You always try to your best to get them on, but it's amateur boxing. It's amateur boxing. You got tickets. You got exactly, and that's another worry when you're putting a show and you're thinking, I'll probably get a phone call. I'll probably get that phone call. And every time your phone goes off, your heart sinks on it. You're thinking, "Oh God, is that going to be that kid what pulls out?" Even at the venue, sometimes he just doesn't turn up, or they broke down, or the cat's been run over, and you're thinking, "Not him." Yeah. I mean, on the old clubs don't try and let you down, do they? No. Let's face it, they don't. But if someone's ill or someone's injured, or like I say, the car's broke down, you can't do anything about that, can you? No. And on the whole, we've had parents that have been pretty good like that, and not like moan too much. Or they've probably not moan to us and then took the kids somewhere else. I don't know. You can only do your best. That's all the way I think about it. And sometimes, it's just saying, like, when boxers and coaches leave you, and I always think, and we were saying the other day on the phone, people have just got a shelf life with you. Yeah. But all I want from a boxer or from a coach is, Kev, I'm moving away, or I'm going to Priory or Brooklands or wherever. Yeah. But just be polite. Yeah. Because all us coaches talk to each other, and it's, as long as you're nice about it, we only ever wish you good in the future, don't we? Yeah. And I think when people get spiteful, I just think there's no need for it. Just leave on a good term, because we will bump into one another throughout the years. So just 100%. Be nice. 100%. We've had a few over the years, and they've come to us from other clubs with the parents, and they've gone. We always ask, do you box for anyone? And if they say, yeah, well, we're with so and so, but, and then they start, I'll go, hang on. These are friends of mine. So if you're gonna talk about them in that way, we'll end the conversation. Go and find another gym, But in the end, I do tell them, just find another gym, Even if they then stop slagging them off. Yeah. Because you're thinking, well, you'll probably stay in boxing for maybe a season or so more, and then you'll be gone. Yeah. But these clubs want them giving up their time for years, and like yourself, I mean, years and years and years, you've just given for this. Yeah. So they will come and go, like they'll be just a conveyor belt. But it's the coaches what stay. And how many times you've missed the baby's birthday party or a wedding, and you've gone there to Newcastle or to wherever, and it's all of a sudden you turn up to train and you go, you'll never guess what, he's gone pro or he's gone, and you're thinking, I wouldn't have stopped him. I couldn't stop him if I tried. But just that simple phone call of going, thank you, old pal, but this is where I'm going now. Yeah. And all you do then is you wish everyone they're happy, God bless you. 100%. I mean, we always want the ones what move from us and go somewhere else to do well.
Exactly.
They probably don't think that we do.
Yeah.
But we do.
Yeah.
You're more in the same sport.
Yeah.
And it represents you anyway, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you spend time with them, then you got to have that connection there. You know, I mean, sometimes boxers fall out with clubs and want to go to other clubs. Sometimes the grass they think is going to be greener, and 9 times out of 10 it's not. But you know, you have to just let them do what I'm going to do. But we always wish all of us all.
And you don't
all the
want
best.
people in your club who are miserable. Ultimately,
No, well,
you know, you want
ultimately you want people to be happy.
happy, yeah.
Because if I'm not happy what I'm doing, or I'm being forced into it by parents, 'cause that's another item mine. That is when the parents are forcing them to do this, and you know that they don't want to do that.
Yeah, the art's not in it. You see,
Yeah.
don't you?
Like, our Kev's starting to spark. Kev's going, like, hey, don't make me spark. He's thinking, he is going, please don't make me get in there. But you're thinking, I love my daughter more than God's green apples. And if I took her to you and you went, Kev, your daughter's ready to spar, I go, are you sure? I wouldn't be going, I think she's. I'd go, Paul, are you sure she's ready? Because I don't want her to get hurt.
Exactly.
I wouldn't make her spar, because if you said, Kev, she ain't ready, I'd go, thank God. You know what I mean? Because you should cherish your children.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it is right, and it's boxing, it's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
But I don't want her, him, they, it getting in there before they're ready, because it's child abuse.
Yeah.
Or it's adult abuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you hear these people getting thrown in there and having a lamp, and you're thinking, I want this to be a healthy part, an enjoyable part of their life.
Yeah.
Whether it's 6 months or 60 years. I don't want them thinking every time I walk past there, I have a shudder down my back.
Yeah. Yeah. And you want people to have good memories of you, rather than bad memories of you.
Yeah.
You know, I would hate the fact if someone got hurt, who I was guiding, or helping. I'd hate for them to get hurt. And on the whole, amateur boxing is all like that. You know, on the whole. That's why people should probably think about it in a different light. You know, and especially the non-boxing people. Yeah.
Go and see a gym. To anyone who doesn't like it, go down there for a week or so. Like if you just watch them and see, as you said, how many people can get along in one room.
Yep.
You know, the people who wouldn't sit by that person on the bus, or if that person was walking down the road across the road.
Yeah.
Once you get to know each other and you realise you're human beings, it's a great equaliser.
But that's what boxing clubs do, don't they? They naturally do that. You know, they're welcoming and self-governing.
Yeah,
basically. There's what we've found since we moved from being that tiny little club where you had the trees growing through the roof, which we kept putting tinsel on, to now, which is something which is like three times the size. And all as that's made now is made it more usable for the community. And there's that many people what we've got in there now that would never have had that chance of being a part of something. We've got a women's group which we started a few years ago now, and this women's group they help each other, and they organise nights out. They get involved in all the things that we tend to do in the gym. Now we've got the pavilion. They go over there and they have like afternoon teas, and they bring people in, other like younger girls in, and the oldest one we got is she's 70, 71, I think she did. And she's amazing. And she just inspires people. Now, without having that boxing club, what would they be doing? Because there's a lot in there who do suffer from depression, who have been isolated for a long time, who have got mental health problems. But when I'm in that gym, that helps to calm them and to give them a focus.
And company. Because nowadays
100%.
we don't know our neighbours, we don't go to the pubs. We've lost that sense of community, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's a place like your place and this place, you're giving people a family.
Yeah.
And if they've already got a family, you're extending on that family, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, this is why I wanted to turn the boxing club more into a community place rather than just a boxing club. Everybody knows it as a boxing club, but I wanted it to be more. And it was our Steve's idea. Like Steve, he was my cousin, but everybody thought of him as my brother because I mean we grew up, together. And he was from a rugby background, and obviously me with boxing. But he said, "Look, why not try and extend it?" I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to get funding and the money to do it. So we tried and we failed by trying to go down the lottery route, and that's just like pulling teeth. Well, you've tried them down them routes. It's just like pulling teeth. And then in the end, Neil Perkins, who used to box for me, the heavyweight. Yeah. Well, he had more of like a fitness boxing gym in Birmingham, which he called Fighting Fit, which was, it's a gym for corporates. That's what it was based on, really. But a lot of the boxing and the way things are set up was based from the boxing club, because obviously he boxed for me for years. And then I got to know people who can make things happen. We was training barristers and solicitors and big business people, and then I came across a guy called James Dickens, and it was James that changed the gym. He was the one behind it. If you talk to me, he'd probably go, no, it won't be, but it was, because without his knowledge, and without Neil Perkins making it happen, then we'd have still been struggling to extend the gym. But what he did, he just said, well, so I started training him in Birmingham, and then he said, well, what's this gym that Neil keeps talking about then? So he came over and he just fell in love with it. And he was like, well, this is great. I said, yeah, but we wanted to make it more of a bigger place, because we had a waiting list of for years. People couldn't get in. And I told him about that, and he said, well, how about extending it then? And he said, well, I'll put some boxing shows on for you. And he said, I'll sell it to corporates. I was like, oh, okay then. And I said, but if you're going to do that, I'm going to train you up and you're going to box on it.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I don't know about that. And I went, yeah, well, come on. You're gonna do this. Be a part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And he did. To be fair, he did box on it. And he put on 2 shows. One was at the Holiday Inn in Birmingham, and the other one was at the Villa ground, the old suite.
Yeah.
And with them 2 shows, he made a profit of 70,000.
Bloody
Them 2 shows.
Get him down here.
Mate, it was amazing. The first one. You know when we was on about Mick and his wife.
Yeah.
They was the officials there.
Was they?
Yeah, that was, yeah. We had all these different businesses, and one of the businesses was the Richardsons.
Okay.
Richardson, Bill Built Hill, yeah. And they helped us, so he got them on board. James did, because he knows them well. Because James's dad was Roger Dickens, who was the head of KPMG, or KPMG's massive, worth millions and millions. And he was the head of that, Roger was. So his dad passed away, and James took over what his dad did, not KPMG, but he made his other businesses from that. And he's an amazing man. And so he got these people to help us, and then we get a little bit of money off the lottery, but not a great deal. It was all what we could raise, and with that 70 grand, that helped. And then you got other businesses saying, "Well, I can help with this, I can help with that." And the Richardsons was putting contractors to us and said, "You can only supply them at what you get it for. You can't make no money off them."
Brilliant.
So they were supplying all the building stuff, and no one made money off it. So we only paid for what we needed, really, which come up in the end to get the gym done. It was about 140 grand to get the gym.
To our kind of people, isn't it? Them kind of people, it's a
Yeah,
drop in the ocean.
it's a
But
drop in
to
the
us,
ocean.
it makes the world of a difference.
Yeah,
And not just to us, but the thousands of people who just walk in through these doors, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, 100%. And they realise this. So when I get approached by councillors and MPs at times and saying, "Well, why don't you try for this funding and that funding and the other funding?" And I say, "Well, I can waste a lot of more time going for that funding and just get turned down, and all that's going to do is wind me up, you know."
And it does.
And it makes you think, well, we ain't worth that then if they keep turning us down. So I
Plus
don't
his time away from actually helping the kids.
exactly, and it's like pulling teeth.
Well, I'm not that.
I'd rather deal with businesses. Businesses what know you, like you, and go,
And see the
"How
difference
can
you're
we help you
making.
then?" You know, and then because they know where the money's going. You know, I mean, we're transparent. I mean, but for the people who want to look at what we've got, go onto the charity register and it's all there. You can't hide nothing. And businesses know this and they can see the progress. You know, so I'd rather deal with them if I'm honest. Them are the ones what have really helped us. Is good businesses.
But it's how your gym has changed, right? You said from that little place to what you've created now. And like, how long have you been doing the school?
The school's 3 years now. The way the school come about was, you know Sally Webb.
Yeah, lovely woman.
She's
Great coach, great official.
great, and she only got into boxing because a son and a daughter wanted to start boxing. And then when Sally, they started at Brooklands first.
Another great club.
Brilliant. Well, they come from our club, don't they?
Of course.
But
people forget that you trained Daz Manager for years.
Yeah. So she came to me the one day and said she worked in a proof school over Wolverhampton, and she said, "Can we bring some kids down here, and then you work with them, just to see what we can do for them, and see if we can help them, steer them in the right way, get them to behave better in school. I was like, yeah, okay. So she brought him down the once. So I sat him on the ring and had a little talk to him. Got him knowing that this ain't school. It's a boxing gym. And don't come in here and call me sir. Because call me coach, call me Paul, call me other things under your breath, I ain't bothered. I said, don't call me sir. I said, because your teachers have earned the right for you to say that. I haven't earned that right. They've gone to university and they're qualified in being a teacher. I'm not qualified in being a coach. I said, so they deserve that title, not me. Just call me Paul. And then you could see the kids looking at each other going, I hadn't heard that before. Why would he come out and say them are better than him? But that's what I wanted them to think. And it surprised me in a way. So I did a little bit of work with them, and I was actually doing better in school. So I went from doing it once a week. I did every day of the week. I just got different campuses down and I'd work with different ones. And then the head of the Priory school, there was someone I brought in over him, and she won good for the Priory school because with her it was all money and orientated. But with Stuart, who took over, he's the figurehead of the school really. He wanted it different. He wanted the kids to achieve something, and
for the right reason.
Exactly. He wanted everything to be about bettering kids, not bettering the bank balance.
Yeah.
So
very more people could be like him.
Exactly. Well, Sally went, well, if you want to set up your own thing, which that's what he said he'd had enough of that school. I said, well, talk to Paul and see what you can come up with. So 5 of us got together. There was me, Sally, Stu, Tim, who's over that school now, and Julie, who was head of all the Ofsted, and she do all that side of it. So then we went to get our own school, but we was gonna get a place which was just down the road from Priory Park, just opposite the Aldi. So we was going to set up there. So we went to Ofsted and applied to Ofsted, and we had to make a name up. So we made Priory Park Community School, but then we had to move it from there because it was really fit for purpose. And we moved it to Meadow Road, which is Wren's Nest, not Priory. So I got a bit of stick over that, which I'll go into that in a bit. And we started it over there, but this building hadn't been used for a few years. So I mean, used up in a catch. So it needed some work doing on it, and we had no money to set this school up, none. And to set a school up, it just takes some money. So I got people to do the school up because the government brought in where you got 6 months, and they'll kickstart, it was called. They'll pay you for 6 months to do a trade. So you're working for 6 months, and then hopefully you'll go in then and get employed. So we got the school done up by having some workers, and I was there just supervising them, and that was helping me, and then we got it working anyway. We got it fit for purpose. So that didn't cost us nothing. So that was good. And then we got some more on the kickstart, and then we trained them up, and then we got them then on to be teaching assistants. So 3 of them then went on the teaching assistants course, an apprenticeship. So then we could we got the helpers helping the teachers that we've got, because we only got an handful of teachers. So we started off with, I think it was eight kids first, in the January. We got, going back a little bit, like I said, we needed some money. So I went and talked to the Richardsons again, Lee, so I got on really, really well with Lee. And I told him about the school. So he wrote a check out there and then for us to start it off. Brilliant. For us to get going. Because without that, we'd have to try and just get the money ourselves. Because once you applied for Ofsted, they want their money. It's well, let us get going first. It's like that. You know, you've got to pay that money and that's it. So we started off with 8 kids in the January. And then the maximum we can have is 35 kids. So from January to September, we was approaching 30 kids.
Fantastic.
So in that time, you've got to increase your teachers, increase the ones from what over Ofsted, over gone right out my head. All the health side of it.
Yeah.
Then we had to have more teaching assistants. So then we had to deal more with the college to get the college to get them on their apprenticeships. And now they're qualified TAs now. And then we just build it on. But it was set up, the schools, it's a special school, but it's set up as a CIC. So the profit generated goes back into the school or back into developing the kids, you know. So within that 3 years, it's landscaped all round and made it now so that they can actually do education outside. The kitchen was from a small little kitchen. Now it's a catering kitchen. So they even learn how to cook and
life skills.
Yeah. But they'll learn everything. So our first Ofsted inspection, we was rated good, which we was really, really chuffed about that, because you don't normally get that when you're first starting off. You'll have like either adequate or
imagine just with the learning curve of
exactly. But we'd got no GCSE results. That's the maximum we could go to, was good, because we got no GCSE results, and you're marked on that as well. So when they come and inspected us again, we had some GCSE results going. So we was then rated on outstanding in development.
Fantastic.
And the reason we couldn't get overall outstanding is because we didn't have the second year go through in time. So they inspected us a little bit too soon. In all fairness, if they'd have left it 6 months, we'd have probably had overall outstanding, which for the special school is really, really quite tough to get.
And are these secondary school kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's secondary. But the staff that there is, they're just wonderful. I can't do anything what they do, but I believe everyone's got their own strengths.
Yeah.
It ain't more strength being in the school. But if they want
is
something,
boxing still involved in that now? Is in training within that school?
Yeah. I mean, we have classes on, and they have to choose it. It ain't as if like, right now you're going to the boxing gym. No, it ain't like that. So they do all their academic work in the morning, because that's when they're the most aware. So they come in, they have some breakfast, Then they do the work.
That's lovely in itself, too, isn't it? Coming in and getting your breakfast before you
Yeah.
start learning.
That's the way we've done that from day one. And like now that I'm trying to bring out that they can't have phones. Those have never had phones. They've always handed the phone in as soon as I got there. Then they go and have some breakfast. Then they go to the lessons, and then they'll stop, and then they'll have a break. They'll have something else. Then they'll go and do more lessons. Then they'll have the dinner, and then they'll do activities. So they'll do everything. They do biking, they do climbing, swimming, fishing, boxing, football, basketball. They do tennis. They do all things activity based.
Doesn't that sound like a lovely way of learning, though?
It does, doesn't it?
You know what I
But
mean?
I think that they get the best out of everything.
Because like me, and we've worked in so many different schools, and when you go into the schools, you're thinking, we're failing our kids here. Because, you know, they walk like drones, they get shouted at because they don't fit the narrative of fitting in.
Yeah.
And then he's a cheeky chappy, so he's excluded, or he looks out the window, so he's thick, or he's got a condition. You're thinking, this just doesn't suit this human being. And I was one of them kids.
Yeah.
School did not suit me.
Yeah.
So if there's somewhere to play to your strengths instead of calling you thick and useless, because I think we've got to a stage where we just throw on the scrap heap, don't we?
Yeah.
But once again, places like boxing gyms, we get them off the scrap heap and we polish them up. We make them into beautiful, wonderful, helpful parts of society, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, some of the ones what we had in the beginning, because now they've gone on to college.
God bless.
And they'll pop in every now and then to say hello, or they'll come in and just go and join in one of the classes. Yeah, which is great. It's lovely to see, you know, because you know you've made a difference.
It's good for
boxing
the
clubs
other
have been making a
pupils,
difference for donkey's years.
But it's good for the other pupils to see that person come back and go, actually, he did achieve college.
Yeah,
you know, he is.
And they pop back to the school as well, which is great.
Yeah,
you know, it's as if they just pop back to the boxing club. They pop into school and just say hello to the teachers and talk to the other kids.
Would you say of all your achievements through everything you've achieved obviously with the boxing, would you say it's up there with your top things, top proud things you've ever done?
Yeah.
It sounds like it, mate. Like listening to it.
There ain't many people who open a school. Let's put it that way. So that's that in itself.
If it were for, I would never have been able to do. I left school with nothing. I didn't have one qualification. I never passed nothing. I would have passed the PE exam, but maybe an idiot. I didn't turn up for the exam. But you realize these things, but you don't realize until after you've left school and then gone, what a div I was. Why have I wasted all them many years? I've got to go and do it myself now.
But you look at it with grown-up eyes, don't you?
Yeah.
You look back thinking, flipping heck, and you say to the kids, but that's part of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Learning by your mistakes.
Well, that's why I was telling the kids when I was having these kids, especially the ones that worked at the Priory School, and I was telling them that I left school with nothing and I had to do this and I had to do that, and I had jobs which was mind-numbing or total graft or every day, and they don't see that side of it. They just think because you're working with kids or with a school, they think you got an education. I ain't got an education. Everything I've achieved has been since I've left school. You know, at my own time and expense. And this is what I try and tell them. But as in achievements, I only help to make it happen. The achievements and what the school's doing now and the teachers that it's got, all their achievements, I've got nothing to do with that. All as I've done is help help set it up, help them get it off the ground, you know. And if they need me, I'm there, you know. So I'm one of the governors of the school, but that's as far as my involvement goes.
You are teaching English there, remember?
No. I could teach him how not to do things.
Yeah.
You know, I was the one in school, because I'm dyslexic. I was the one in school where, you know, where they used to say, right now, Paul, stand up and read so and so. Table was going up, I was hitting someone, or you know, out. You know, because I know someone was gonna laugh at me, and I was gonna end up fighting. So what was the point?
But how horrific is that? Because I relate to that so when I say that, I'd rather be naughty than be thick. And how many kids you can see that who did kick the table over because he knew I'm going to look silly here.
Yeah.
So why are you putting me in that situation?
100%.
And you see some of these teachers, not all teachers, because there are some fantastic teachers, we all know. But
we got a school of them.
Yeah, well, but you remember your good teachers, don't you?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you also remember that horrible, perverted bugger who used to take pleasure in humiliating children.
Yeah.
So being remembered for the right reasons, isn't he?
Yeah.
If you can be remembered as being that nice person who supported you, he will love you forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or he will hate your guts forever.
Or there is some teachers what go proper down the path of tough love.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't. So I was a great pupil, I must admit. And I remember that I kept lying to the one teacher. His name was, we nicknamed him Spike. And I used to lie to him. And the one day he went, come with me. And he took me outside of the class and we went on the back. He gave me a slap. So I started to fight with him. Well, I was never going to win. And he ended up smacking me around a little bit. But I gained so much respect for that man. In the end, well, there was a few of them. I had a couple of fights with a few of the teachers. But when my wife was doing the Gold Duke of Edinburgh, we used to go up the Jolly Crispin up a Gornal. And I used to all go there at the end and have a drink. So obviously I'd left school. I was doing a gold. I was 18 then. And we used to meet up for the drink, and that was great, you know. And nowadays, a teacher's only got to shout at them, and it's abuse, and you've upset their feelings, and you know what I mean. When we was growing up, it wore that sort of mindset. If a teacher gives you slap you in the back of his hand, and you go to your parents and they go, "What did you do then?
What did you do?
Yeah, what did you do to make him do that?" Or they go to school and you end up having another slap from your old man. But I think society, it is a snowflake society.
It is.
I mean,
you can't just tell someone off for being naughty. You can't tell someone off for kicking the ball against your window. You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I heard a lovely saying the other day, a victim. Someone who's a dick but plays a victim. And I think the world's full of them, they're addicted. And I thought,
I'll have to use that one.
I thought you've nailed that because you're being horrible, but somehow you're still the victim in everything.
Yeah.
And the great thing about boxing was, Lee, you're late. Or, Lee, what you doing putting your wraps on? I'm so sorry, that will never happen again. But people are trying to get into that, well, my alarm didn't go off. Well, you go, well, that's not my problem. Because what boxing teaches you is how the world should work.
Yeah.
If you're wrong, I'm so sorry, Paul, it won't happen again. If you can learn how to say sorry, you'll be forgiven, won't you?
Yeah.
And manners and all these things. But it's more of an uphill battle than it ever has been. Because once again, you tell me off, my dad comes in, and you go, Bob, he did this. he did what Paul, Kevin say sorry. Now's the days, you tell them off and the parent comes in and fights their corner, even though they're wrong.
Yeah.
And I think, what a horrible lesson we're teaching people. If you've done wrong, apologise, move on.
Yes.
But don't fight for when you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful life skill to have. Like in boxing, how'd you get on? You lost that. What do you think? You lost that. What can I do better? Then other people kicking it out. Well, I was robbed. If you're robbed every time, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
What can I do to win next time? You didn't punch enough. You didn't have your hands enough. You weren't fit enough. You haven't done your runs.
Yeah.
If I allow myself to get better, it's harder to rob me.
Yeah.
But if it's everyone else's fault all the time, how am I ever going to get better?
100%.
It is though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's taking responsibility for your own actions.
Yeah.
Where women in a society where they don't want to take responsibility. It's just the blame culture. Well, I'm going to blame him for it. Or I'm going to blame her for it. You know,
it's never my fault.
Yeah, it's all woe me. You know, that don't really work in a boxing gym.
No,
because you just get found out. You know.
Well, how many years you been in the game?
Well, I did martial arts first, so I come from martial arts. When I was at school, saying that when I was at school, I think I was about 12. Yeah, about 12 probably. I used to get 2 buses to go to Wolverhampton Boxing Club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which is a hell of a lot different than it is now. Yeah, I was catch 2 buses because someone I knew, they boxed there. So I was going over there, and that was about I was doing that for about 6 months. I didn't do it for very long. But in them days, it was okay to go and, you know, in nowadays, your parents wouldn't let you catch 2 buses to go to another part of a different town. So then we moved to town. So my dad used to run the Liberal Club, which was underneath where the police station used to be. And then above that was martial arts place, and it was Ken Holt who ran that, and Bernard. So because we were living underneath it, I got into it, and then I did that for a few years while we was there. And then when we left, it was my dad actually. He says, "Oh, all this fancy martial arts stuff." He says, "You wouldn't make a boxer." I was like, oh, "Okay then, whatever." And it was Sean Cooper. What? Because obviously I knew Sean and Razza and Lyndon, because we grew up in the same estate. And I said, "Why not come to the boxing club? You'll love it. You'll fit in." And I went, "Yeah, okay then." And I went up. It was at Meadow Road, and I was just looking through the glass of the window of the door. I mean, and then all of a sudden it opened, and it was Ronnie Brown. You know Ronnie Brown, don't you? He went, "What do you want?" And I went, he went, "Well, either come in or off." And I was like, "Okay, I suppose I'm coming in then." And I went in, and then from that, I just liked it and carried on with it, and I met some great mates over the years, and then I took over from Ronnie, and he took him over pro, and Macca was my first ever champion, Dan McDermott.
Oh, what a great! But my dad told me about it because I didn't know. but he boxed Carl Frost, and Dad said he should have beaten Frost. It was a bad decision.
Who?
As an amateur on it, Carl Frost, Macca. Was I got that wrong? I think. When he boxed him in the ABAs, and Macca got on done by. You might have that wrong.
No, that war Carl Frost. That was can't remember his name. I can't remember his name's gone. Macca knows it. He'll know 100%. Yeah, he probably will.
What a great boxer. What a shame what happened to him.
Ricardo Sims. Sure, that was his name. And we went to the championships. This was the ABAs. Went to the championships. And he missed the weight, but the official still let him weigh in. He missed the scale. He had to go back and go to the loo again and come back. And then they allowed it. And then Macca dropped him in the first round. Now, he beat him in the first round, dropped him in the second round, dropped him in the third round, and lost on split.
Yeah.
I'm like, how's that happen?
It's how changed.
You know. And then he went pro and stuff, but then he come back amateur. But I don't think it was Carl Froch.
But like someone like Mac, I mean,
but Carl Froch is a lovely guy. I mean, I have done bits of work with Carl, with Tank and with Ricky.
Yeah. Where's his head sparring partner when he went to fight George Gross, wasn't he?
Yeah, for the second time. Yeah, he was his main sparring partner. Yeah, brilliant.
But just saying about Macca, because obviously he had his amateur career, his pro career, then he had to stop because of the bleed on his brain.
Yeah.
Started up another great club, Brooklands.
Yeah.
But then Richie Gent,
yeah.
who's another great bloke. We've had him on the podcast, Genty.
Yeah.
But he started off with you guys, then obviously started RG Fit.
Yeah.
Any other clubs?
Oh, there's loads. There was Wade, the Black Country Wellbeing Centre.
Of course, yeah.
They came from us. Les Byfield's Golden Gloves. That came from us. Who am I missing? So you got this. Wade's. Wayne Evans opened the boxing club. But if you look at all the ones that have come from us, ultimately they've all come from Ronnie Brown, because it was Ronnie Brown what got boxing in Dudley, because his club, other clubs had branched off, like Cooper had got his own club. Yeah. Ronnie Campbell had got his own club, Roughnecks.
Bloody hell.
Then you got the Black Country Martial Arts Centre. Mick Wallahan, he was from Dudley and then from Priory. So it's all stemmed really from Ronnie Brown. Without him, Priory wouldn't have existed. So it's amazing how it got to the chain of events. Because Terry Seymour, who actually opened up Priory Park, he was with Ronnie Brown, because they started Dudley boxing up together. Then they had a bit of a fallout and went different ways, and he opened the Priory Park Boxing Club. And obviously Ronnie still had Dudley Boxing Club. So the boxing in the area really has come from him.
Fantastic.
But I don't think he gets the recognition that he really deserves. Because without him, there wouldn't have been any clubs.
And how many kids have been helped because of that one thing? With that many clubs have branched
thousands
off,
and thousands and thousands.
It's unmeasurable, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. But that's what boxing clubs are about. They'll start somewhere, but it's amazing how a little thing can just put a big chain of events. What happens, when you start something, it's like that ripple in the pond, isn't it? It spreads out, and that's what Dudley and Priory's done. He's just spread out, and the ones what form their own clubs. I wish them all the best, because they're doing something good for society.
Exactly.
They're
getting kids off the street. They're keeping 100%. People away from crime.
Yep.
You're bettering people's lives, and hopefully they pass that forward, whether it's in their relationships at home, whether that's with their children, whether that's with their work colleagues. You're just spreading that love, aren't you?
Yeah. And that's another reason why we've took over the pavilion, because there was another building which was going empty and not benefiting the community at all. So we took over that. So we had that under the club's charity, and what we charge people to come in and eat and drink is it's running on nothing, but it's not there for the money making thing. It's there to get people in the community, the ones that are lonely, the ones that just want to get out, or some of them, if they're just struggling, come to there. The people will help you. We've got groups, active groups, which they've formed, and this was part of the NHS. They've formed, and now they've got this group now, which they look out for each other and they help each other. And
it should be.
We've even started now by getting this group involved in the gym now. So we get them in the gym. I do some training with them, and they come with different things, like they've got this little injury, that injury, this health condition, that health condition, and if we can, we help them, So that to me is more rewarding than trying to make as much money as you can. I've never really been driven by money. I just believe it's a means to an end. If you want something, 9 times out of 10, it's going to take money to get it. So
money can't bring you happiness.
No.
But the lack of money can make you sad.
Yeah. It can. And some of them what come to the pavilion, they want to just help out and stuff, and I know they're struggling.
Giving people
so they never have to pay for anything. It's there for them, and that's the way I wanted the pavilion to be. It's just good that I've got good friends which fund it. And like I said about James Dickens, James Dickens went, I'll pay the costs on that. I'll keep that running. He don't have to do that.
No.
He's just, I can see what you're doing, and I can see that your school kids use it as well, which they do. So yeah, and I've got that much respect for the ones that have helped us, because they've helped us and not wanting anything in return. They just see what you can do and what your goals are, and they just want to help you.
Well, you're doing it for the right reasons as well, aren't you? You're not doing it to go and have a yacht in the Barbados. You're doing it to help your community.
I'd probably end up drowning anyway.
Before you go there, I want to say, because obviously Kelsey Oakley.
Yeah.
The dream is now the Commonwealth Games, isn't it?
Hopefully. Hopefully,
And then the next
the fingers
Olympics.
crossed. Yeah, which
But
would be lovely because it's over here. Yeah,
is it here now again? Is it coming?
yes, in Scotland.
Scotland. It's
Yeah,
going to be in Australia
in
next
June. Yeah, June. Yeah, in Scotland.
But a fantastic person, because all of a sudden, the Midlands were the cannon fodder, weren't they? We had no champions.
Yeah.
Then you'd have a Rob McCracken, or you'd have a whoever, Richie Woodall.
Yeah.
But now, from amateur to professional, like from Sam Eggington to Connor Walker to Hamza Ruddin to from Kirsty Bavington, women to Ben Whittaker to Galal Yafai, and you're thinking, there's so many of us at the moment, but they start off from gyms like ours, don't they?
Yeah, 100%.
And all of a sudden, it's wonderful seeing them at Olympics, at Commonwealths, British titles, World Championships, and it's, as a Midland boxing coach, I just feel so proud.
Yeah, but it's showing what our area has got. But like you said, for years we was always ones that we'd achieve a certain amount, but then that'd be it. It's either London or Liverpool is going to take over, and a lot of the times, as you know, in the pro game, when they get to a certain level, when they're with certain promoters, they dictate who they're going to go to. It's like, right, their manager will go, right, now you've got to move from that trainer and you've got to go to this one, so this area does end up losing the fighter eventually. But whatever Kelsey wants to do, is entirely up to her, and will always be there to support her. She was the first TA in our school.
Was she?
Yeah, she went on the kickstart, and then went on the apprenticeship at our school. And when she's not at GB, because sometimes she has a Friday off, so she comes back on Thursday night. She'll get up Friday morning, and she'll come to the school and do a day at school.
How wonderful that is!
And she'd help with the school. She don't have to, but that's something she just likes doing. And the kids, every time she's boxing, they all watch her. And if she does get picked for the Commonwealths, they'll probably go up.
Yeah, fantastic.
We've got a new minibus now. Did you know that?
I know.
Yeah.
You can have them around the Priory. I thought they'd be.
Yeah. Strangely enough, I use this bid writer who was recommended to me. So she's a friend of one from the gym, and she just writ some letters out to different trusts and foundations, and this I had a letter come, an email. Sorry, I had an email come, and then I had a phone call, and that someone's going to come round and have a look at what we do, and it was the Masons, the Freemasons, from London. The letter had gone to London head office. And they got in touch with a friend of mine, who is linked to the Masons as well. And they said, "Do you know this boxing club?" And he says, "Yeah." He said, "I know him." He said, "My son actually goes there." And I said, "Do you know this guy?" And he says, "Yeah, I know him really well." He said, "If you were for him, I'd have probably either been dead or to prison." And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah." And they said, "Great, we want to meet him." And came out to the gym, and I said, "What is it you need?" And I said, "Well, we got this project and that project." And I was like, "We won't fund projects. Is there anything you need?" And I said, "Well, we just scrapped the minibus." I said, "Well, the engine in the minibus is gone, so we going to get a new minibus. They brought us a new minibus.
How about that?
£58,000. There you go.
Good, yeah.
Here's a new minibus. It was like, I could have more people like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
So that minibus, on the first day we had it, they dropped it in the morning. In the afternoon, took it to Cardiff with England boxing.
Yeah.
Because there was some there was England versus whatever, Three Nations or something. So he took it straight down there, and then the school use it in the week, and we use it, and
It's great because when we used to have a minibus, you get the team in there, and whether you're coming to the Lions show or you're going to Newcastle, you're in there having a laugh. And
100%.
the good thing about going on tour is you get to know the parents, you get to know the boxers, and because we see each other every night up here.
Yeah.
But you're sweating, you're shouting. But it's great when you actually build those relationships, isn't it?
Yeah.
And find out about the nan and the granddad and working and culturally what they're into, and
that's where championships and box cups and stuff like that come in, don't they? Because you end up going away. You have a team, and that team goes away, and they do bond with each other, and and it creates that good atmosphere in the gym, because then others want to go into championships or box cups or whatever, which it costs the clubs lots of money, doesn't it, with all these championships and especially box cups, but it's not about the money side of it, because the club gets by no matter if
that's what
it's got money or it's not, it gets by.
We get the subs for the bills and for those stayaways. Oh, we're in Durham. Oh, so we've got to pay for a hotel. Yeah. That's why we do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not doing it for a steak and 20 points or a holiday. You're doing it because some of these people have nothing.
Yeah.
So when you can take them away, and like some of the people, it's the first ever time they've been in a hotel. It's the first ever time, as we were saying, to the beach. That's as close to a holiday they've ever had.
Yeah.
Going away and being a part of something.
Yeah.
To them, it's, as you say, it's like flying them to New York. We've gone to Wales and we've boxed the Welsh, and but they are the Lions, they are the Priory, they are part of whoever you're going with.
Yeah.
Ain't it wonderful when you see the faces, win, lose or draw?
Well, like I said, we have been driven by money, but if boxing clubs was wealthy, what more good could that do?
Oh yeah.
If that was back to a high level, what could they achieve then? But then you're looking at government then, ain't you?
You know what I mean?
And government will never really support.
No, they don't.
boxing.
They don't fund youth clubs or anything anymore, do they? Anything basically to do with kids is gone now.
Well, that's another thing where the school's looking at now is taking over the youth club, which is next to the school, where boxing started, in that youth club, because it looks like it's being shut down. Well, we won't allow it to be shut down. It'll stay for what it's needed, what it needs to be there for. So that'll be another thing what the school will take over. It'll take over that eventually.
World domination, Paul.
The school's already got another school. It's got two schools. It's got that one. It's got one in Stafford, Everton in Stafford, which has just got Ofsted registered, and that's more like agricultural side, farming side. They've got their own little farm going on, and again, that's been built from nothing, but it'll build, and the money will get invested back into it, and it'll get bigger, and that'll go to the same numbers, and but that side was purely Stuart Playford's idea. That he's done that, But obviously he's still got the backing of the school as an whole anyway, and he's running the both, and then ones that was under Stuart, which was Tim. Now he's took on that role, and then everyone gets like another role, which they've all earned, and then it's just progressing and progressing all the time. But I've had a few contact me over a period of time since we started this about other clubs starting up special schools, and Prue schools. A Prue school and a special school is different. It's not the same. But it's like I've said to you, we're a part of Empire Fighting Chance. You know them from Empire Fighting Chance. They started up in Bristol, and they started to work with kids and pupil referral units and mainstream schools all over Bristol and like Wales. So them all over YouTube. If you just type in Empire Fighting Chance, they're doing amazing things. We're part of them. So they want us to do like other clubs to set up like what we've done with the school. But the only stumbling block on that is you got to have the right teachers. You know, it's okay trying to start something up and have all the great ideas, unless you got them teachers which are passionate about what they're doing and good at what they're doing. That special school will not work. It won't. You know, you can put all the effort in you want. If you haven't got the right people behind you, it may not completely fail, but you won't achieve what you want to achieve. You know, without them teachers, that staff in
that
place.
Goes for anything. To be fair, you're only as good as the staff.
100%. Priory is only as good as the coaches and the volunteers that we've got there. It's only as good as them. There's no magic wand, and no matter how much money you throw at something, it don't actually mean it's going to work. No. You know, the proof of the pudding's there in government. They throw a lot of money at things what just do not work. Exactly. Yeah. You know, but oh well. What do we know about politics?
Well, I think we'll leave it on that. Well, Paul, thank you, brother, for coming on.
But I've really enjoyed it. It's been nice to
we'll get you back
have a good chat.
Because there's so many stuff that I wanted to get through, and obviously, but that's what I said to you. We just let it go anyway. It's going to go.
Yeah.
But before you go, have you got any quotes or sayings that have helped you get through life? Trust in the people around you. Your close people around you, and they will get you through hard times and the difficult times. There's been so many times that I was just going to stop boxing, stop the club, give it all up, pack it all in, and it was the wife that said, "Now go and put the kettle on. Have a cup of tea, sit down, let it pass, and you'll come back to your senses again." And I tend to look at that as a great phrase. So no matter what you think is wrong or what you're angry about, or just go and put the kettle on. Have a cup of tea. Let it pass. Great advice.
Because ultimately, it's never that bad. Yeah. So yeah.
Well.